What is going on, everybody? For those who don't know, I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. Today, we got a quick live stream, no video today. Was really busy with the running around. Tuesday's my most busiest day, but I want to address some of the news, especially the offensive guard that we picked up off the Bears practice squad, Jamon Brown, probably butchering his name. We also brought up Sua Opeta. I always butcher his name off the practice squad. So Vinny Curry and Craig James go to IR, and we send a defensive end and a cornerback to IR. And the Eagles know the first thing on their mind is offensive linemen. So we go sign one from the Bears practice squad, who I did hear they tried to use the protection on him because you can protect up to 4 people on your practice squad where nobody can sign them, especially with this whole COVID-19 coming. And the Eagles did protect 4 people: Deontay Burnett, Joe Osman, T.Y. McGill, who did play in the Washington football game, and lastly, Trevor Williams, the guy who keeps getting on and off the Eagles. But let's talk about Jamon Williams real quick. The dude played 60 games in the NFL. He started 47. He was drafted in 2015 in the 3rd round by the Rams. Then from the Rams, he played with the Giants. And then from the Giants, he played with Atlanta. And then Atlanta released him, and he got signed 12 days ago by the Bears practice squad. Or not 12 days ago. He was around there. However, I will say this. If the New York Giants are releasing you at offensive lineman, well, something kind of might be wrong there because they've been desperate for O-line. However, once he left the Giants, they didn't release him. They let him go to free agency. Sorry, let me requote myself. They didn't release him. They didn't re-sign him. And the Atlanta Falcons gave him an $18 million deal. I think $12 million was guaranteed. I think it was supposed to be for 3 years, but something happened, I believe, and I think I did read it, injury. So another guy who was injured, but we're not asking him to come in and just be the superstar. We just need all the help we can get game by game, week by week when it comes to the offensive line. So with that being said, let me know if the stream is acting up. Like I said, I've been trying a couple different ways, but yeah, so Jamon Brown, 47 career starts, 60 games. The only thing that has me a little bit happy is there was a reason that the Atlanta Falcons offered him an $18 million contract. So something had to be good prior to injuries. And Driscoll actually had a pretty good game if you look at it. A misassignment here or there, but he played good. Nate Herbig, I caught Gate City's sports channel video, and we talked about this prior to him putting out the video. Like, what happened to Matt Pryor? How did he fall that deep down the depth chart? I agree. When you look at training camp, maybe Nate Herbig outplayed him in training camp, and maybe the reason why was because you had Matt Pryor on the left side, the right side, the left tackle, the right guard, the left guard. You kept switching him, so you were seeing him performing in different spots, and he didn't get to really show what he got. And you probably favor Nate Herbig at the right guard, but clearly Matt Pryor's a better player than him. But shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on? Nina, Jalen Williams, Tyrese Washington, we need Wentz out the pocket. Yes. I mean, the stat line's out there for the whole world to see it. I don't understand. Is Driscoll healthy? I haven't heard too much yet. They didn't say anything bad, but if he can't go in this Sunday's football game, we definitely need backups. Now, I do want to talk about the Lane Johnson and Miles Sanders injury. Driscoll, once healthy, I believe will be in this rotation. I can see if Lane Johnson ends up coming back and staying healthy at right tackle, maybe you play Driscoll at right guard. I'd much rather see Driscoll than Nate Herbig, but I want to see what Jamon Brown and maybe even Sua Opeta can do as well, because my goodness, last Sunday was not good. Shout out to D.O. Gunner for the $2 super chat. How about the Washington football team in front 4? Wentz punch drunk. Hey, listen, shout out to you for the W. I mean, you guys played a good game. You know, first half, You guys are probably feeling the same way we felt at the end of the game, but it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish, and we didn't finish the game, so shout out to you. Driscoll had cramps. He should be fine. Future starting right tackle. Future after Lane Johnson, because Lane Johnson just had an extension. So I don't know. I forgot exactly when the extension goes through, but hey, Driscoll played good. I caught Baldy's breakdowns. I looked at some stuff. I subscribed to the NFL thing so I can get the all 22 version, but they're acting up. They said it was available today, but it wasn't available. So hopefully I can see that, because I want to use that not only to break down some of the things we did good and bad in the previous game, but to break down the opponent that we will be facing next, the Los Angeles Rams, which is a beatable team. Now, they really carved up the Dallas Cowboys with the short and intermediate in the middle of the field, but I think our defense, when it comes to the secondary and playing man-to-man defense, which if you heard Jim Schwartz in the press conference today, we played a lot of man-to-man. And I know you probably saw Fran Duffy's breakdown. I mean, Darius Slay did a tremendous job against a really good receiver in Scary Terry. I mean, he held him to like 5 catches for like 31 yards. I'm not exactly, don't quote me, but when he played him in man coverage, he pretty much did his thing. Now, he did get like a 21-yard slant on him. He missed the tackle. It is what it is, but a great showing for Darius Slay. I predicted an interception. It didn't happen, but it was still good. Give Sua a chance. Yeah, we definitely brought him up. Like I said, we put on IR a guard and a cornerback, and Craig James and Vinny Curry due to injury. So when you put them on IR on the season we're in today, the pandemic season, they don't have to be off for 6 weeks. It's only 3 weeks, but we signed 2 offensive guards. We brought Sua Opeta up, and we got Jamon Brown. So I want to see how he does. He's a big body, 6'4", 340. And if injury never happens, maybe he's still on the Atlanta Falcons, because they gave him an $18 million contract with $12 million guaranteed. You don't do that for no reason. Release Jake Elliott and bench Wentz for the Bengals game to see how does what? To see how Hurts does. You can't do that. We can't do that. Darren Walsh has the cheese touch. I sub. Shout out to you, my guy. But yeah, so let me know what your thoughts are on the offensive guard. I know my guy Showing Up 215 said he wants to see how Seward comes in and does. He might get the chance. If Driscoll was if it was only cramps and he's perfectly fine, well, then I do see Lane Johnson making a big push to play. Now, is that the right decision? I don't know. I don't want to see the offensive line like that, but I also don't want to see my guy go down for the year because we were worried about game 2. Now, game 2 is more important because you only get 16 games and we just lost the first game to a divisional opponent. So it is important, but I don't know if I will go all the way to just forcing him to play. Hey, Mike, how are you? We just chilling. Like I said, Tuesdays are my busiest day, and I wanted to get on here and chop it up with you guys for a little bit, kind of off the radar stream. What's going on to Jersey Boy, one of my channel members? What's up, bro? Let's talk birds. You already know that's what we do in here on the daily. And so shout out to all the people in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. I appreciate the support. It's free. It's easy. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do live streams and we do regular scheduled videos throughout the week. We talking birds 24/7, 365, and we got to get this W on Sunday. It's simple and plain, but I won't risk health. Miles Sanders is going to try to give it a go. And like I said, Lane Johnson came out of his mouth and said, I am going to play. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Brown is another Band-Aid. His pass protection is suspect. We are just sticking our fingers in holes to stop them from bursting. We need to fix the problems, and Driscoll will be fine. Driscoll will be fine. My guy Eagle has landed, said future right tackle. I mean, if Lane doesn't stay for the long haul or something happens, I definitely see that. But as long as Lane Johnson's here, I think Driscoll can play right guard. He's just a solid guy under Jeff Stoutland. Like I said, I'm so surprised that Matt Pryor fell that far down the depth chart. Like, if you're putting his camp tape to his feet, I mean, he played on a left, right. I mean, give the man a break. We seen him against the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks last year. That's game film tape. Go check out Trench Talk with Trey Thomas and check out his video for like a couple months ago when he breaks down Matt Pryor. As soon as Brandon Brooks went down, he broke down Matt Pryor. We're talking about Trey Thomas, a fellow offensive lineman for the Philadelphia Eagles, so he knows what he's talking about. And Matt Pryor is no tackle because his feet is not fast enough, but he definitely can get the job done at right guard. What the heck happened to Matt Pryor not playing? That's exactly what I was talking about. What this team needs is tough physical and mentally. Yes, I mean, that's what we got to do. We need it to come from Doug Peterson first. I'm not going to give no excuses to Carson Wentz, even though you clearly see the offensive line was disgusting. But the same way the offensive line was disgusted, Carson Wentz was in the second half. He has to be better. No excuses. He said it himself, but it's not about saying it anymore. It's about doing it. How are the Eagles fans giving up after one game? One game, like, that's what I'm saying. I did a reaction video yesterday, and I pretty much said, yes, it was horrible. It was a horrible time. I couldn't sleep at night. I'm just like, really? Really? However, not last night, Sunday night into Monday. However, Dallas lost, so that comforted me a little bit. But on the upside, I don't really care what they do. I want to take care of business myself, but you cannot give up on the Philadelphia Eagles after one game. My motto is, as long as we're not mathematically out, I'm going to keep grinding. We need Marquise Goodwin. One bad game and everybody think Wentz is the worst quarterback ever. Correct. Was he bad in that game? Yes. Is he the worst quarterback ever? By far, no. Philly Mike, how's it going? We just chilling, doing the live stream on Tuesday. Pole Viper in the building. What's going on? Zeke fan, a Cowboys fan saying hit that like button for Eagles content creator. That's when you know it's all love in the game. Mike Low-key forgot about the GOAT. What up, Mike? You already know what's going on. What kind of books do you read? I'm not the biggest, but if anything, I like biographies. I like sports books. If I'm reading, I'm going to read about sports. I'm all about that. I crunch numbers, so I get my reading by doing my study for my analytics when I gamble. But I would definitely check out biographies and anything. Shout out to you, my guy. I'm going to skip down a little bit, but if I missed your comment, just redo it. We definitely get you. I think we need to start looking at another coach because Doug don't know what's going on out there. That's another thing. Was I happy with the performance of Doug Peterson? No. But again, we're talking a couple years ago, a Super Bowl was brought to Philadelphia. You can question if it was Frank Wright or not. Yes, Frank Wright was important to the designing of the plays, but Doug still called him. Maybe he was in his ear and helped them with stuff, which I need Marty Morningway and Rich Scanganello to do that. Rich Scanganello was only brought here to design bootlegs and roll out and move the pocket. He didn't do that. I don't know what he's doing. Marty Morningway, a veteran in here. Now, he was under Andy Reid as well, and he can get pass happy too. We got to run the ball. Simple and plain. It wasn't pretty. Corey Clement and Boston Scott ran for 3.9 yards per carry. That makes you not want to run. But look at Jason Garrett Monday night. Saquon Barkley ran for 6 yards, and they continue to run the ball. You got to run the ball. You can't abandon it, especially when you're going against a front like that, because then they pin these bad boys back and come right at the quarterback. There were drives where we passed the ball 4 or 5 straight times. You don't think Kerrigan and Chase Young and Jonathan Allen are like, oh, here's another pass. Here's another pass. They don't worry about the A and B gap. They just try to shoot and get to the quarterback. 2 words, Aaron Donald. We are in for a long day. Definitely. You saw him throw Ezekiel Elliott around. You saw him knock 2 offensive linemen down at one time. He's a bad body. He's a big body. And I also want to say this, Jason Kelce, all-pro center, love him to death, but he had some bad calls trying to slide the line, sliding it this way when it's supposed to be this way. It was bad. But if you got a veteran like Jason Kelce messing up, then that's also due to the lack of preseason. The touchdown against Jalen Mills and Avonte Maddox, the misassignment was due to the lack of preseason. So we got to correct these things. Drop Corey Clement and pick up Devontae. Hey, Corey Clement didn't look like the describing of him in camp. Let's say that. Doug is the worst play caller ever. I wasn't happy with him. I was not happy with Doug, but there's no way from week 1 I can say fire Doug Peterson or bench Carson Wentz. Now, here's the thing. We go 4-12, 6-10, 8-8, 7-9. Well, then you start to bring it up. Is it Carson? Is it Doug? Is it one of them two? Do they both got to go? Does one got to go? You start to raise that question because, yes, we made the playoffs 3 straight years, and I believe Doug is a great coach. You could be a great coach, not the great play caller, because a coach is much more responsible than just calling the plays. That's why you got a guy like Andy Reid who calls his plays once in a while, maybe the first 15 scripted, but he got, oh my God, I can't think of his name. The guy who should have got a job opportunity who didn't, he got offensive coordinators. Bruce Arians, a great mastermind, but he got Brian Leftwich. I mean, you got play callers. This is what you do, you know. Bill Belichick, greatest coach of all time, more on the defensive side, but you know he has his hands in the offense at certain times as well. He got Josh McDaniels. You know, you still let that happen so you can worry about the bigger and more important things, and you still can veto any play that you need to veto. So yes, I agree. I thought it would be okay getting these offensive minds around Doug Peterson, Marty Morningway, who I don't really like calling plays necessarily, but I thought could help Doug in situational football, and it didn't happen. The second half was what you call situational football, and we couldn't handle it. Doug got greedy. 1 minute and 44 seconds on the clock, and I can't wait to break this play down in the All-22, which should have been today, but it will probably be tomorrow for sure. And then we move on to the Rams. And I will be breaking down some of the Rams play as well. However, 1 minute 44, you're up 17. Carson got to stop going for the home run. And Doug Peterson, okay, we can say it now because of the interception, but you always want to keep your foot on the gas pedal. But we were getting ball at halftime. And we still had 1 minute 44 and some timeout. So we didn't need to go for the gusto right there. You just got to run the ball a little bit, just a little bit. Maybe not in that situation, but you can't be leading the football game for 3.5 quarters and run the ball 16 times. As simple as that. And why are they not rolling Wentz out the pocket and they don't have any injuries on the line? I mean, they know they have the injuries on the line. Doug is setting Carson up for failure. Yeah, you know, we definitely know that in the NFL, everything matters. I mean, everybody helps everything. I mean, in NBA, MLB, you can get away with certain things with star players, but everybody relies on somebody, and including all the players rely on the coach. So we just got to be better as a whole. If we had a preseason and we came out looking like this, it would be worse. Yes, Carson is in year 5. There's no more excuses. This season is huge for Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson. Huge. To prove that they can get it done together. Simple and plain. I mean, it's huge for Carson to show he can be healthy. And while being healthy, you have to win games. And Doug Peterson, who wanted no OC, has to prove that he can do it, or things got to change. You start with getting a play caller in here, and then you decide what goes on around the thing. Like I said, I believe Carson Wentz will turn it around. But I'm not going to let things go because he knows what he needs to do. He knows. I mean, 5 years, the same question about him holding on the ball. And I understand it's a thin line, but you have to know. You got to have that internal clock. Now, I'm not saying to get rid of everyone because you got to make sure, you know, you don't do it on third down. And he does have break tackle ability, but you got to be smarter. Hightower had some opportunities Sunday, shaking my head, of course. And this is the guy who's catching fantastic playmaking catches in practice. And again, that's what I'm saying. We talking about practice. But he had a toe touch touchdown in the back of the end zone, and then he hears the footsteps of a defender and drops it. He definitely dropped it because he heard the footsteps. It's simple and plain. Now, I've been slacking on the comments, so I'm going to roll it over. If you said something and I didn't get to it and you want to, you know, just recycle it, I don't want to just take too long scrolling through everybody. But I will say, what's going on to Joey Z in the house? Showing up said, Kellen Moore isn't y'all problem. It's your quarterback. Oh, he's going after the Cowboy guys. You already know. But yeah, if you got a question, just recycle it and we gonna rock from there. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Until Miles gets back, ain't no one respecting our run game. I mean, listen, Boston Scott was the Giant killer last year. 2 times against the Giants, he played good. Corey Clement, again, he did not look like they described in camp, and so I agree. That's why I'm hoping Miles Sanders is back. Now, listen to this. Against the Dallas Cowboys, I don't want to give too much of my preview, but Malcolm Brown, I mean, the Rams ran for over $150. They ran for over 150 yards. They want to run the ball. We love to stop the run. So Sean McVay's not dumb. If he sees us stopping the run, he'll get into his bag of tricks. They do a lot of window dressing. You saw constant motions from Robert Woods and these guys. I don't want to get into it, but I'm going to crunch some numbers. We're going to get that for the preview. But I like the matchup, and this is a test, you know. They came out and they beat Dallas opening day. We lost to the Washington football team. Now we have to bounce back against a formidable team. Hey, they undefeated. You got to put the respect on their name until otherwise. The O-line needs to play tougher. Carson Wentz needs to be accurate on his throws and stay healthy. And Doug Peterson needs to be a better coach. Simple and plain. Danny Dimes will show him how to throw it away. To the other team. What's going on, Robert, California? Any news on whether Johnson is playing? Without him, we taking another L. With him, we got a good shot. Lane Johnson said today that he's playing. But that's out of Lane Johnson's mouth. That guy will play on one foot. I think the coaching staff are going to make the business decision, and whether I know we're desperate for a win after losing week 1, after being favored 5.5. I want to talk about something that changed big in this upcoming week, but let me answer this real quick. So Lane Johnson said he wants to play. I believe if they think that the ankle is better, they'll let him play, but we can't have him go down in the second quarter for a season-ending injury because we rushed him back. So as much as I want him to play too, it's all about the health. But I hear you. The offense will be more balanced with Sanders and Johnson back. Correct. Carson will be better with his timing with the young receivers. There was a lot of timing issues. I want to break that down in all 22, but you can check Baldy's video. I mean, there were things that one time it was Carson, one time it was the receiver, but they're not on the same page, and that's just a lack of preseason. Lane Johnson playing this week. Let's get it right. You already know. Why was Jamon Brown brought in over Matt Pryor? Exactly. I do not understand why he dropped so far down the depth chart. Maybe he had a bad camp. Well, do you know why he had a bad camp? Because you knew he was our best guy. So you tried him at left tackle. You tried him at right guard. You tried him at right tackle. You put him back to left tackle. So if you're judging him off the left tackle, well, of course he should be down the depth chart. But he's not, bro. They brought in Jordan Mailata over him. What did he do? Did he curse out Jeff Stoutland? I mean, John Hightower is nervous. You already know. It is what it is. Wentz had total meltdown Sunday in the second half. Hightower and Reagor played like rookies. That's why Wentz needed to feed his vets. Djax, Ertz, period, with a mix of Goddard. Oh, yeah, Goddard was a shiny toy. Goddard was a good sign. Darius Slay was a good sign. Jalen Reagor was a good sign. And that's about it. Oh, Josh Sweat was a good sign, too. Don't get me wrong. What do you think about Doug saying, I don't know if it's passing play or I don't know if it is a passing play or a running play? Well, we are hearing this, that Carson Wentz is changing up the plays. Now, I don't know how many plays he changed up. I don't know if it's a point fingers type of response, but we need them to check into run plays because we were at our best when we ran the ball. However, we need guys who can run the ball back there to run the ball. So it goes hand in hand. And even if the run is suffering, Jason Garrett continued to run the ball after Saquon only had 6 yards. He was getting 0.6 yards before he got touched, less than a yard. So he's got to stay consistent. I think Dak played a good game. That was a horrible OPI call. Ramsey was flopping. Let me just say this. Dang, what's going on? I believe Ramsey flopped. However, the arm got extended, and the way he moved back, it was really risky because, you know, it don't get called. I mean, that's not only why he got beat. He got beat by Michael Gallup. But, I mean, if you half extend it, it's one thing. But once that goes full extend, I mean, the flop just put the icing on the cake. 5 years of terrible drafting eventually will catch up. This year has disappointment written all over it. Yeah, not only does it suck when you don't draft right, but then you get in money problems. The thin line has disappeared. Get rid of The thin line has disappeared. Get rid of the ball instead of trying to be Superman. Hold the ball with both hands until you are clear to throw. That's simple. Yes. I mean, John Gruden had him at his camp early. He's called a two-handed monster. They used to do it. He needs to hold the ball with two hands. The fumbles are just unexplainable, unacceptable at this point. But listen, Carson's my guy. But I'll let you know when he's not playing good. But I'm still going to believe he's going to be the one to take us to where we needed to get taken to. Dang, I'll be slacking on the comments now. Scanello needs to be more involved in Carson's technique. Press shaky to me. I understand we want to groom Skip Bob, but hold him accountable. Hey, I agree. I think Rich, and that was a thing though. There were reports already came out that Rich spent a lot of time with Carson Wentz, because I think one of the beat reporters asked Doug Peterson about him taking a big step in his mechanics and working on his footwork, and he was like, he did that with Rich. I really don't know where he's at, so I don't know. We need a lot of adjustments in game plan. You already know. I love Carson, but starting to look like Jameis Winston with all the picks and fumbles. Oh my goodness. I like how Bruce Arian answered the question straight up. Answers. Doug seems like he has. Yeah, Doug is the beat around the bush. His press conferences, I don't even know why we listen to him, because we go into him wanting answers and we come out more confused. I will say this. I still want to see Doug turn it around. The leash is going to be short all over the place if things continue to happen like this, probably from Howie Roseman. You can't give up after week one, though. No matter who we lose to, you can't give up after week one. But yes, his press conferences are out of the world. OPI was a good call. You get your arm extended. I agree 100%. Matt Pryor was the backup right guard and got snaps at right tackle last year. Why is he starting? Agreed. Trey Thomas, trench talk. Go look it up. We have game tape on Matt Pryor against the Giants and the Seahawks. We're putting in Nate Herbig, who's only based off camp. We got game film to evaluate Matt Pryor, and he didn't make it past Nate Herbig, and he didn't make it past Jordan Mailata when Driscoll went out. So I have no idea what he did. He probably tried to hit on one of the coach's daughters or something. What up? Is Doug on the hot seat? This is where I think about Doug. You can't give up on him after week one. Maybe he's just not meant to call plays this year, or maybe he's just not the best play caller. Maybe he had a little Cinderella second season, and because he did call the plays when Frank Wright was here. Doug did. I believe Frank was in his ear, helped him with situational football, and they evaluated the plays together throughout the week better. I think the plays we're putting up there, I think Doug has his hands in that too much. And the play calling, the situational play calling is not good. Again, I'm rotating because I'm a huge slacker. I'm a slacker. When cuz get out of jail. See, I'm totally lost in the sauce. But yeah, my bad. Like I said, I gotta keep my answers short. So because I don't want to get to something that was 6 minutes ago and I'm just repeating. So shout out to the chat though. We got 87 people in here. Make sure you smash that like button. It really helps me out, helps the stream out. Appreciate it. We got a giveaway coming soon. We need the Eagles to win though before I do a giveaway. But we are going to have a giveaway. I'm going to do something special for the channel members. And then after that, I'm going to have a giveaway for everybody, because I already did a giveaway for everybody before the season started. I auctioned. No, what is it not called? I did a contest. All you had to do was put hashtag Eagles, and I picked the winner out of a little bowl, and the winner won a Jalen Reagor jersey. So shout out to Mr. Stanley. Haven't seen him in a little bit, but he was the first winner of the Philly Talk Podcast giveaway. But let's get to these comments. Like I said, if I missed you, just rotate it, because I'm slacking. We got a Super Bowl. It was eventually going to catch up to us. Time to pay the piper. Yeah. The O-line needs to play better. That's the bottom line. Nothing will get better until then. That's correct. But here's the thing. When you know the O-line ain't that good, you have to call the game knowing that. Doug play call won't get better. He's making obvious mistakes. That's true. I mean, There were some obvious mistakes. The fact that you brought coaches in here to roll the pocket and you just gave up on it. He abandoned it, and he abandoned the run as well. Sorry, I thought Mike Dak had a good game, and I like that he was running out of trouble. He will get even better. Hey, yeah, but that's the thing though. Dak had a good game. Zeke had a pretty good game, I guess. Vanilla though looked a little vanilla. We both 0-1 at the bottom. Doug was quoted at halftime saying he thought we played great and he wasn't going to change anything. We let up 4 sacks in the first half. That's horrible, correct. But 4 sacks with a 10-point lead to him don't equate to nothing. But 4 sacks allowing 20 unanswered points after the first 7 really was 27 total. Now he's like, well, we should have did this. Frank Wright drew up all the plays. Doug Peterson got the credit. Yeah, I agree that he drew up the plays, but Doug called them throughout the game. It could be his playbook, but Doug picked a play when to pick it. But I do believe Frank Wright was in his ear on situational plays, but he still was a play caller. He just wasn't. It might have not been his plays. You know what I mean? I'm the rapper, but I'm rapping someone else's song. You know what I mean? If we lose this week, we're done. Just tank the season for draft picks and trade Ertz and clear house to get the salary cap. Yikes. I'm so competitive. I'm such a football fan. I understand that, it might even be the better thing to do, but I can never, ever just say tank. It's just not in my DNA. I understand where you're coming from, but it's just not. Watch Arian Presser. Then, yeah, Arian calls it how it is. Arian straight put Tom Brady on blast. I'll say this. When Jordan Mailata was put in the game, he wasn't that bad. Granted, it was toward the end when that was pretty much too late. Yeah. I agree. He wasn't good. He wasn't good by any means. If you compare him to Nate Herbig, okay, but Jack Driscoll was pretty good. He was handling his one-on-ones. I'm going to show you a couple things when I get to all 22. He put Chase Young on his butt a couple times. He really did. And who's blowing my stuff up? Like, for real. I like Frank Wright. Yeah, me too. The Colts are 0-1 as well, but I like them. 88 people in the chat with only 31 likes. Take a second and hit that like. Shout out to my guy Vic3, a channel member in the building for, looking out for me. Appreciate it. It takes 1 second. Click off the live stream. Hit that X. Click off it. Bang, bang. Come back in and holla at your boy. Eagles talk is cool. But you need to start making vids on what? Oh, yeah. Eagle clips, you mean. My guy, what's cracking, man? We'll be fine. Gotta work the kinks out. Remember, we had no preseason. Shout out to you, my guy. Another channel member in the building. Hey, we got a lot of stuff we got to correct, but it's week 2. We can't be talking as if we don't win next week, we're out of the playoffs. I like Wright, but he's not this boy genius people making him out to be. Yeah, I mean, if he was the best ever, Indianapolis, who had a solid offensive line, who got some receivers, who had a little bit of a defense this year, their secondary looked suspect, they would have been better. So I like him, but he's not the best ever. Like how everybody says John Hightower was so NFL ready, but I feel like Quez Watkins should have made those catches, would have made those catches. Don't matter. Don't matter what Quez has reliable hands. Yeah, but Quez Watkins is on IR, so Quez Watkins cannot play until week 4 or week 3. Mike, there has been a rumor about Zach Ertz getting traded to the Cowboys, and if it does, it's for Zach Martin at right guard in return. Do you think that's a risk of trade? I saw Philly 500's video. Like he said, no way, no how, not possible, not happening. That's why I won't even make a video about it. Eagles need to move Mailata to tight end when Ertz gets traded. That's a big tight end. Eagles player of the games. Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz. Eagles players of the game. Goddard, Ertz, Greg Ward, Rager, Malik Jackson, Josh Sweat, T.Y. McGill, Big Play Slay, Avonte Maddox. But we took the L. But I understand what you're saying. Oh, yeah, my bad. What's going on, D-Money in the building? What's going on? Stephen Joyce in the building. What's going on to everybody? Like I said, it comes down to just being better all around. We know what we need to do. Carson cannot play like this. He cannot play hero ball. He can't. Doug Peterson has to game plan and adjust. Situational football is a real thing. It's what we need to do. It's simple and plain. But let's get back to Jamon Brown. What are y'all thoughts on Jamon Brown? I talked about him a little bit in the beginning, but let me know your thoughts on Jamon Brown, and also let me know your thoughts on Lane Johnson. Do you think Lane Johnson will play? Do you think Lane and Miles will play, one or the other? And give me some thoughts on Jamon Brown, a quick little something. We talked about getting the ball out of Carson Wentz, and I can't believe they didn't do that. Correct. Quick timing passes. We need that. If an offensive line is banged up, the screenplay. But the Eagles are known for the screenplay, so they're waiting for that. So you hit them with a couple draws. You do a little bit of motion pre-snap, because when you motion pre-snap, the defense might show their hand. You motion pre-snap, that means the guy goes over here. Okay, they're in man coverage. You motion back over here, he's in man coverage, and now the linebacker backs up. Well, he's not blitzing or he's fake blitzing, but you get to see it more. And then also run the ball. 3.9 or not, run the ball. Do you know any free agent power backs we could sign next year? I feel like one would benefit the team greatly. Our 2017 running back committee helped us get to the Super Bowl. Correct. We were third in the NFL in rushing as a team. Now, we didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher because we had the committee. I was lobbying for Carlos Hyde, would have been the perfect power back complement to Miles Sanders. He's a little bit older, so he doesn't he's not going to demand the ball or to be a heavy use number two. You use him when you need to. The game that Miles Sanders didn't play, he would have been perfect to play in this game as the number one back with a little sprinkle of Boston Scott, because last year for the Texans, he was their number one and rushed for 1,000 yards. So if you get 1,000 yards guy who got a little wiggle, who got a little bruiser to be the guy, that's who I was lobbying for, and we missed out on a cheap guy. I will collab with Mike one day. It will happen. Shout out to you, my guy. I'm gonna check you out, definitely. If it's on your page, I'll check you out after this stream. Stay off my coach. Let me remind you that we have made it to the playoffs the last 3 years. Correct. Listen, I'm a guy who said Doug Peterson coached horrible in this game. However, I will not just jump to the conclusion he has to be fired. Maybe things can change, but not fired. However, each time we're making the playoffs, it's a little bit less enthused playoffs, but playoffs are playoffs. So I hear you right there. The quarterback can hear both the OC and the head coach in their helmet. They both can call plays. Don't trade with Dallas, period. You already know. Only people acting like the season is over were the Eagle fans before 2017. Straight facts. I'm going to hit you up about that, BLSG. What would be your game plan for Aaron Donald? Also, would you go about this offense and how would you go about this offense and scoring against the Rams secondary? I don't want to give too much up for my game preview that's going to be out either late Wednesday or Thursday, but Aaron Donald gets a double team automatically. Not a double team, but he got to get both pressure from the right guard, left guard. When he goes to the right side, it's the right and center. When he goes to left and center, you got to put a little double team there. And that's why you're going to have to chip the ends with your tight end. Definitely keep it running back in. That's another thing. We did too much scat protection. You got to keep guys back in there. You got to play some heavy 12-man. You got to do what you did on the first touchdown to Zach Ertz. If you notice, guess where Dallas Goedert was? He was blocking. But he wasn't blocking at the tight end spot. He kind of dropped back into like the fullback area and was blocking for Carson Wentz when he threw the touchdown to Zach Ertz in the beginning of the game. So you need to do stuff like that. Dallas Goedert is a physical guy who can block. You need to do stuff. Yes, he's not out there running routes, but Carson Wentz can see, can breathe. So I will make sure you check out my preview coming. Wright is not the best ever, but with the quarterback that fits his scheme, he makes you dangerous. Hey, I'll give you that 215. I'll give you that. Jam jam on Brown, all that size and soft as soft as baby poo. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, he is 6'4", 340. And again, there was a time where the Falcons gave him 18 million and 12 guaranteed. So injuries might have took him a little bit out, but I mean, you can never be that excited of a guy who bounced, and landed on a practice squad. There's reasons for that. However, it doesn't take much for a guy to just click, I guess. If Lane, Miles, Barnett, and Graham all play, then we should look a lot better. Facts. These are playmakers. Lane Johnson is a great right tackle. Miles Sanders is set for a prime year. Barnett, when healthy, has potential. Brandon Graham, you've seen him in the first drive, hit the running back for a loss of like 5. Like, these guys are playmakers. We need them on the team. However, it's week 2, so they're going to do what they got to do and checking on these guys because they don't want them to be out for the long term. I like Jamon Brown signing 6'4", 400 pounds. There you go, Eagles guy. This should be Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson's last year. That's facts. I like it 100. He has a lot of experience. Hey, started 47 starts. That's more than Nate Herbig did. That's more than Jack Driscoll, even though I like Jack Driscoll. Listen, I think Jack Driscoll at right guard next to Lane Johnson might be a nice recipe. But in case Driscoll gets hurt, you got a guy who's 6'4", 340 on the bench. So shout out to you, Fast Life. Frank Wright just lost with the Jags with Rivers at quarterback. But Rivers threw that interception at the end too. Not enough screens, not enough draws. Both them slow down the line. Yeah, but we are known for our screens, so that would have been a little bit predictable. I mean, I agree with you though. But even running the ball would have helped at least 20 times combined. Carson held the ball too long. No rolling him out. It's plain dumb. Exactly. You see a stat line that says second best quarterback last year on the run, rolling out. It's okay. I don't want to. Huh? What? Just watch the Rams. Just watch what the Rams did. Got the ball out fast because the pass rush. Why can't we do that or roll the pocket? We can. We didn't, and we will. Or there's going to be problems. Doug doesn't know how to work the field. I'll give you that. Yeah. Again, situational football. Working the field is what you call situational football too. Situational football is not just when the clock is low, this, that, and the third. You have plays that you call when you're at your 20, and you have plays that you call when you're at midfield, and you have plays that you call when you're deep in your territory or deep in their territory. That's all situational. You can't just call the same play wherever you are on the field. That all matters. It all matters. Also going for 4th and 4 was just dumb. Washington wasn't moving the ball, played on a short field all game. Listen, every time the Washington football team drove a little bit or got momentum, it was because of a short field. So yes, I agree. I don't know why we didn't keep Jordan Howard. He would have been perfect. Facts. I think he wanted a little bit more money, and that's why Jordan Howard is way better than Carlos Hyde. But Carlos Hyde was a 1,000-yard rusher with the Texans, would have fit good, would have been able to carry the load if Miles is out and be a perfect, unselfish mixture with Miles. My bad. Brown was a solid pickup. Sanders and Johnson will play. Hopefully should get an injury update later this week. You already know. Washington, get him out of here. See, you just come in and say they did good. I'll give you a good game, my guy. But that is not a good game, my guy. We should have gotten Leonard Fournette. He was cheap. Again, you know what Howie Roseman's train of thought is? That's why I'm surprised. I mean, I'll be surprised if he brings anybody in because he knows the cap is going to be bad. We just talk about it. And I always say Howie will take care of it. But he knows it's going to be bad, so he really wants to roll some money over. So I don't know what he'll do. School night, gotta go. Peace. Hey, yo, shout out to you. Go to sleep. Go to school. You know, make sure you wear your mask. I think the Eagles should trade Ertz to New England for running back Sony Michel. Nah. Ertz is way better than Sony Michel. Odell's going to the Patriots. Watch. Hey, he'll cry himself to them, right? I seen if Sean McVay is such a great coach, why does Doug keep beating him? Didn't even make the playoffs last year. Good point there. But see, being the coach and being a play caller is different. You know, he could be the better play caller when Doug is the better coach. What's going on, bro? What's going on, Mac 10? I wish LeGarrette Blount was still with us. Him and Miles would be nasty. That's facts. LeGarrette Blount is chilling at home. Ain't nobody got him on the team. I don't know if he wants to play anymore, though, to be honest. I honestly think the new offense is good. Resembles KC, getting yards down the field and scoring early. Carson just made bad decisions, and he knows that. We will bounce back. Shout out to my guy, King James III, channel member. Listen, we will be doing the channel membership live stream soon, so stay ready. You know what I'm saying? I'll be hitting you guys up soon. I don't know if we're going to do 7 people, 3 people, 2 people, 5 people, but it's your chance to get on here and talk your talk about the Eagles. It might be before a matchup or right after a matchup, but if it's before, let us know how we beat them, and if it's after, let us know what went right or wrong. This O-line is going to get Wentz killed. Might. Trade Zach Ertz and Matt Pryor to Tennessee for Derrick Henry. Woo! Is he a workhorse? However, I just think we have more. If Miles Sanders can get healthy, we have more problems than just running back. But, that's a hot take and a half. At least Sweat looked like a beast. Facts, Joey. Philly Fresh in the building. Yo, that it's probably skipping. Yep, it's buffering, right? Let me know if it's still buffering. I'm going to take myself out and go back and hold up. Better, worse, better. Sexy Vegan said we need to trade Hurts. Hey, I mean, if a team needs a quarterback, you know, I know how people feel about Hurts, and I know how people are feeling about Wentz now. But hey, we can get something good for him. You might have to. Carson J. Wentz, Brown was not that bad. Atlanta gave him a 3-year deal. Correct. Atlanta gave him a 3-year deal worth $18 million, $12 million that was guaranteed. But injuries made them feel like they can just, go separate ways. So shout out to my guy, Philly Fresh in the building. Go check his channel out. Great content creator, part of the Battle Birds podcast, 1-0 in our fantasy league. Wham, wham, wham. Josh Sweat is the key to victory. Second highest graded pass rusher week 1, according to PFF. He was getting that pressure, so let's get it. McVay is good, not great. Again, true. And also, you could be a great play caller, but not a great coach, because coaching has a lot of things that go into it. It's managing the whole football team, this, that, and the third. I mean, the record always goes on the coach, where, he is the play caller for the Rams, though. And I will say this. I watched that whole Dallas Cowboys and Rams game. It looked nice. I mean, Robert Woods was motioning constantly. The Cowboys were getting tired of it. Funny how we have all these injuries. Wentz struggles badly, and now all of a sudden, Dougie P sucks as a coach. That would just go to show that some of it is due to injuries, but not all of it. Our rookie receivers could have had a better opportunities, but the pressure, their secondary looked good. Our rookies wide receivers could have had a better opportunities, but that pressure and their secondary looked good. We could have taken advantage, but Doug. Yeah, look, I'm going to say this. The first interception, when he was thrown to Jalen Reagor, it initially looked like he didn't break on it right. No, Carson threw it inside. It was supposed to be thrown outside. The second one, John Hightower really broke on it slowly. So it is what it is. Let me know if it's still buffering, my guy. I don't know what's going on. Yep, it is. What is going on? I got to make sure they don't have to be using that when I go on here. Still in and out. Still in and out. 1 second. 1 second. My bad. I'm talking when it's muted. Like I said, we weren't going to be on here much longer anyways, and they're really acting crazy downstairs. But yeah, let's get to some more stuff real quick, and then that's about it. All right. A lot better, worse, better. No. Looking good now. All right. So like I said, this video was pretty much supposed to be about Jamon Brown. We did bring up Sua Opeta, so we put on IR a defensive end and a cornerback, and we come out and we get 2 offensive linemen. It at least goes to show that both Howie and Doug realize that the O-line is bad. We got to get better there. We got to get better at quarterback, and we got to get better at coaching. They're the keys to victory. I'm just kidding. I will be doing a preview coming out Thursday. But yes, coaching, quarterback combinations are what good football teams are about. We also know we live and die by the D-line and the O-line. So, I mean, we just got to be better. Now, all this hype, all this built up, ready for the football season because of the pandemic. I mean, we lost week 1. Yes, it was to a team that won 3 games last year. It's not good. However, we got to relax. We got to see how we play against the Los Angeles Rams. All right, everything looked good. If Wentz just sits there in the pocket, this game is going to be over early. That's true. Carson accuracy needs to improve. Yeah, listen, the deep ball to Reagor, he missed him. However, if you watch Baldy's breakdown, Reagor did take a little hesitant, but that's still no excuse. You got to connect on that. But it's all also due to the lack of timing, reps. Reagor was out. Carson was out. So them practices that Carson didn't play, I mean, every single day of practice was important because no OTAs and preseason. So everything was important, and it all got kind of bumbled up. But the Philadelphia Eagles are not giving up. I don't understand how some fans are. We're trying to make this offensive line better without bringing a big name in here. At least them going out and getting Sua Opeta and Jamon Brown shows that they know that it's serious. And we just got to take care of business. Hold up. I hope Sanders plays this week. You and me both, bro. Eagles win 21-20, close game. I'll take that. What up, Big Phil? You already know, chilling. We ain't going to be on here much longer, but answer some of these questions. Showing up 2-5, 5 years. His accuracy is what it is. Woo. Maybe. Play calling sucked for offense. Roman V, it definitely did, especially the situational play calling. But before I get out of here, do me a favor. If you're just hopping in here, smash that like button. We talked about a few things. I will answer a couple more questions, and then you know what time it is. Donald's going to get Wentz 5 times. No way, no how. Not one person. What up with these favoritism? It seems like Doug is losing his team. Interesting. That could be. You never really want that. You hear Zach Ertz. Hey, maybe there's a lot of Zach Ertz guys in the locker room, and they see Zach Ertz fighting with Howie. There could be some dysfunction in this locker room. And if Doug Peterson is the guy we all believe in, he has to galvanize the group. First, he has to galvanize this group, And then he has to be better, lean on Marty Morningway and Rich Scanganello for play calling. Don't let them play call. If you want to play call, by all means, you're the coach. Do what you got to do until Howie Roseman tells you otherwise. But lean on your support. Wentz's average quarterback sitting in the pocket, play to his strength. I don't know why I got to sneeze. Agreed. We all know the stat for him on the run. It just got to be done. Dougie P was horrible. You already know. All right, Mike, my channel's not on my Twitter. Just search it. Let's go. Got you. Why didn't the Eagles sign the guard first thing after Brooks went down, but now sign one after we lose? Correct. When you sign a player after week 1, though, you don't have to guarantee the contract the whole year. I think he's only guaranteed 3 weeks of contract, so it's a money thing. It's a money thing. However, we all believed Matt Pryor was the right guard for Brandon Brooks, and Matt Pryor played last year against the Giants, against the Seahawks, and he showed against NFL teams he could play right guard. I do not know what happened to him in training camp. They put him to the left side, the right side, the left side, the right side, and they say he's not good enough to play. Well, maybe you should have kept him at right guard. I don't know why I got to sneeze. I can't get it out. I'm in heaven. My shoulder massager used a battery. Dang. The strong shoulder. Dang. Shout out to you. Ertz in a second for OBJ and Hunt. Interesting. The only rolling over Eagles are going to do is to roll over these LA Dodge Rams. Hey, shout out to you, my guy. At the end of the day, we got to think positive. And until the Philadelphia Eagles lose or are mathematically out, I'm going to ride with them until it's over. But at the end of the day, players, coaches come and go. But that shield will always be there. But I do believe Carson and Doug, we can't be asking for their jobs after week 1, no matter how bad it was. Oh, my goodness. You think Slay's going to get a pick this week? Got to get one sooner or later. Any player can improve. We saw that when Vic came here. You already know. Ertz is nice, but Dallas Goedert is going to become better. Hey, a lot of upside we saw in week 1. But shout out to everybody. We're going to get a little cold feet. We're going to get gel. Are we going to gel a little cold feet? Let's be honest. Ertz will not be re-signed. Might as well trade him. Yeah. He's either going to get traded at the deadline this year, or we're going to keep him the rest of this year and try to move him in the offseason, or maybe something happens. But with all this animosity, it might not happen. He's a great player. We got Goddard. Is it the right decision? Is it not? I don't know. But with the cap, it might be. But with all that being said, and I'm about to sneeze and I can't sneeze. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm allergic to talking about the Eagles losing. That's what it is. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Like I said, we got some offensive line depth. Is Sua Opeta going to play? Is Jamon Brown going to play? Will Driscoll be back, or Herbig, or Matt Pryor rise from the grave? I don't know. But the offensive line, Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson's got to get their heads straight going into week 2, and I believe we can win. So tomorrow, be looking out for a either all 22 breakdown or my Eagles versus Rams preview. One or the other, a all 22 breakdown or my Eagles versus Rams preview, which will be out tomorrow. And if it's just the all 22, then the preview will be out on Thursday. Bro, have you really looked at our schedule? It's hard as heck. We can't afford to lose to teams like this. Exactly. Ravens, Saints, Seahawks, even Dallas ones, Packers, the Niners, even though they lost to the Cardinals, the schedule is brutal. Especially there's a spot in the middle where it gets really brutal. We need all the easy ones. So we lost our one easy one for the year. Let's just keep grinding it out. You play situational ball when you're up 17 points. 100% facts, and that's what Doug needs to get better at, and that's where he needs to lean on Marty Morningway and guys like Rich Scanganello. It was only 2 months ago everybody laughed at the idea of trading Ertz. Yep, You already know. I'm pumped that Rager caught that 55-yard bright future ahead of him. Definitely. He caught that one and he burned the guy for the other one. You know what time it is. We out. You already know. But my guy, DeJounte Tabri, just jumping in here and I'm about to jump off. But do me a favor. 54 people still left when I said I'm getting off. We just crossing over 1 hour. Smash that like button if you haven't done it already. It helps the stream out. And until next time, you know what time it is. I hear you, Frank. Implementing Hurts in. If the offensive line is continue to be bad, you might have to get him in some plays to show something. I don't know, but he wasn't active. I don't really know. Not really in the red zone because we know Carson in the red zone. 2 touchdowns. 74-2 now, I think. I'm still confused why we didn't sign. We signed a dude over Cordy Glenn. Exactly. Gate City wanted him. You wanted him. And I respect your offensive line opinions. And yeah, it's weird. At one time, he was good enough to get a 3-year deal for $18 million, but injuries, I don't know if he's the guy, but some depth is better than no depth. And at least it's on Doug and Howie's mind. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you smash that like button. Again, tomorrow will be either an all 22 breakdown on some line play, Carson play, and situational play calls. The defense, I'm not going to really break down because it was good. I can show you some high spots in it, but it is what it is. Or you will get the Eagle versus Rams preview, and if not, it will be out on Thursday. Tyrese Washington, Rager gonna ball. You already know. With all that being said, you know what time it is.